Today, we are talking through the process we used to teach our kids to top rope belay. Hi there, everyone. I'm Jason. Our twin boys are still pretty young, 7 years old as I record this. So while we are working on lead climbing concepts, we spend most of our time out on top rope, where there is a lot less to think about as a climber. That way,
Good.
it can be fun rather than stressful when we go out on the rock. But like anything else, as they grow up, they are pushing for their independence. In terms of rock climbing, that means being able to top rope climb, belay, lead climb on sport, lead belay, build anchors, play skier, and then lead climb on gear, or go as far into that progression as they decide to go. The climbing stuff we've been doing for years, so what came next in their progression was being able to belay a top roped climber. So, if I just described the macro progression to make them self reliant climbers, here is the micro progression we used to get them to handle top rope belay with the level of seriousness and competence it demands. We taught them the pull break under slide method, and you can check out our link to our short to get a quick tutorial on the mechanics of that. I did three things to maintain safety when I first introduced them. The first was to put them on such a low top rope anchor as to only make the climb a few feet. The second was to make sure the actual route was easy for them. And the third was to watch and correct as needed. I also put them on a tube device. Given that the environment was pretty darn safe, I wanted them to get the physical feedback of needing to maintain the brake hand. With a brake assisted device, you don't feel that same urgency. Then something interesting happened. They began using the method to pull themselves up on top rope, which forces them to hold the brake correctly or they'd take a small drop. Kind of a mock practice with immediate feedback in their technique. Then I allowed them to belay with a brake assisting device, in our case a gree-gree, on a bigger wall where the belay was truly needed. Then we took that setup outside. Penultimately, there was belaying on a tube device on a taller route with an adult as backup. Then the final step was pulling the adult out of the system. This little progression gave mom and dad the confidence to trust their kids to this important task, gave them a sense of next steps, a kind of leveling up that helped them to see progress,
Dad, I have very good belay technique, right?
and relayed the seriousness with which this life sustaining task must be taken.
Hey! Gotcha! Lower! Lowering!
Of course, we don't let them belay anyone other than each other due to the weight difference with adults. We typically still use a brake assisting device, and we always keep a watch on things to correct any small issues before they become big ones. My wife and I are ultimately responsible for everyone's safety, and we take that seriously.
There is a point where you can't climb faster than your belayer.
It's because we take it seriously that we've been increasing the role the boys play in that safety. Teach a person to fish, as they say.
It's tight.
So now the kids are developing the sense of partnership that is such a part of climbing.
Keep going, Connor. Keep going. You're almost to the finish. Smells like victory.
Relying on each other to stay safe and developing the kind of bond that is unique to sharing a rope. Thanks for coming to the end of this video. Please hit that like button to help us get this video out to more viewers. Please ring that bell and subscribe, and you can check out our website at shortguysbetaworks.com to find gear lists, all of our videos, and additional thoughts and information. So if you have kids or maybe friends who are new to the outdoors, what are some of your favorite outdoor activities, and how are you teaching them a progression that's getting them to get more out of their experiences? Let us know in the comments. We'll see you next week, and keep on getting more out of that big outside.